Hey there, everyone. Dom Tibbetts alongside 7 Sports Director Matt Bove. No, we are not in your grandma's snow globe that she has stowed away with the rest of the Christmas decorations. If you can kind of see it behind us, that's Highmark Stadium, the home of the Sunday's AFC divisional round between your Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. There are so many storylines, Matt, when these two teams get together. It's number 7 between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. I don't know where you start. I don't know where you want to start, but all I can say is that it's kind of what we mentioned Monday. I almost said Sunday. Wow.
Yeah.
But Monday after the Steelers game, it still feels almost surreal that Patrick Mahomes gets his first road playoff game at Highmark Stadium.
I don't think it matters too much. I think it's something that's a storyline. It's going to be something that gets talked about a lot this week. It could matter because they've got some tackles who maybe the noise in Highmark Stadium could impact them a little bit. I think, though, for the Bills, they're just more comfortable in this building. I think it's more about how the Bills are better suited than Patrick Mahomes ultimately going on the road, because the Bills have lost one game in Orchard Park in the stadium behind me this year, and that was against the Broncos when they had an extra guy out on the field to try and block a kick at the end of the game. So they should be perfect in this building. So, yeah, I think it matters, but I don't think it's the biggest deal.
So, with that being said then, I guess you look around at some of these different matchups here. One guy, one place that we talked about earlier today was in the backfield. And obviously James Cook, I think, being a part of this offense is going to be huge for Buffalo coming up.
Yeah, because the Chiefs, their defense is amazing. They've got one of the best defenses in the league. They have rattled off 6 consecutive games without giving up more than 20 points. And one of the reasons they're so good is because of their secondary. The Bills are Josh Allen's team. You will need to throw it and test them at some point, but you're also much more balanced than you have ever been, and that could mean a big game for James Cook. That could mean we see him a lot. We could also see Ty Johnson get involved a little bit. I don't think the Bills want to become one-dimensional either way, and I still think that this is going to be a game won by the quarterbacks, but James Cook could play a factor for sure.
Defensively, today we got to see Rasul Douglas, Taron Johnson, Tyrell Dodson back onto the field. So promising signs. Doesn't mean anything, but it's at least good to see guys like that back on the field. How concerned do we still feel with the injury list being so long for the Bills, especially defensively, knowing that you still have Patrick Mahomes and Isaiah Pacheco and Travis Kelce coming in here? Is there a reason to be still maybe the same amount of concern level we were a couple days ago?
Yeah, concerned is the right word, but I think that there was probably more optimism than, I guess, negative news on Thursday because Taron Johnson being out on the field, even though he is still in concussion protocol for a second consecutive day, is a good sign. You cannot predict concussions. Anything could happen if he does not clear, but he is a really important piece. And so are Tyrell Dodson because of Pacheco, like you said, and obviously Rasul Douglas because Rashee Rice is coming off of a big game. You really miss Terrell Bernard, and if he does not play, which it's trending in that direction just because we have not seen him yet, that would be a really big blow. But I think at the end of the day, getting Douglas back, even though you're still without Benford, is a gain for you. And then obviously having Dodson back, then you won't need to lean as much on A.J. Klein. Just, there's a lot of factors here, but I would say overall it's kind of what we expected.
Offensively, I want to go back to that side of the ball because I look at maybe the conversation of guys who have to have another big game, guys who have to step up offensively. And, because we saw in the second half of this game earlier in the regular season where really the offense kind of went stagnant a little bit in the second half after Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator for Kansas City, made some changes. So in terms of just guys who bring the extra juice, it's very recent, so it's a little recency bias. But Khalil Shakir, to me, is an X factor in this game for the Bills. Continuing to see him kind of flourish in the role he's kind of coming into in this part of the season, I think is going to be big. Is there any other big names just for the Bills? And you give me, offense, defense, any side of the ball that you feel like have to have a big game if the Bills want to get to their ticket punch of the conference championship.
This could be a Dalton Kincaid game. This could be a mismatch game with Dalton Kincaid all over the field. I feel like he is coming into his own. I feel like they utilized him well in their last game against the Steelers, both of those tight ends. If you're not going to have Gabe Davis, and he hasn't practiced yet this week, that is a guy who in the playoffs against the Kansas City Chiefs has been a huge performer. That is a big loss. I like that you brought up Shakir, but I think this could be a game, especially if you're going to run the ball a lot, where you have those tight ends utilized in 12 personnel sets.
I think there's some guy right now going on, whatever it is, DraftKings, FanDuel, whatever. He's just like, all right, well, Bove says Dalton Kincaid, anytime touchdown. Get that for plus 320 right now.
Can I say one thing? Please bet responsibly.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good call, Matt. Thank you. We'll be flagging our content down here on YouTube. All right, so wrapping things up here. Snow looks like it might be a factor right now, but this weather is supposed to get much better by the time kickoff comes Sunday. Truly looks like one of those perfect January Western New York atmospheres when the Bills host the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, the Bills hosting the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC divisional round with a ticket to the AFC Championship game on the line. For Dom Tibbetts, that's Matt Bove. We'll see you guys next time.